Well, a rather despondent Red Devils will take the trip across London for most of them to the London Stadium to face a West Ham United side in need of at least 1 point for me to secure Premier League safety. United, however, have just won 2 Premier League games this calendar year, and last time out fell short to a 99th minute penalty from Alexis McAllister that we all had a little smile to ourselves for. The Hammers midweek, of course, last time out received a 3-0 loss away to top of the league Manchester City after a virus unexpectedly arose in the first team squad, affecting David Moyes' team selection. Can West Ham get one over the other side of Manchester and potentially help Newcastle in their quest for third spot? We'll come back to West Ham Unofficial, and this is our match preview for West Ham versus Man United. A couple of guests with me tonight. Firstly, Nigel, how are you?
I'm very good, Jake. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Enjoying the bank holiday weekend, that is for sure. 2 more days after this. Luxury. Gary, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Jake. Did you go to the Palace today? Were you there?
No, I stayed at home. I stayed at home and watched from a distance. I unfortunately just missed out on a ticket. So, yeah.
No,
1 point too many they were on, and nobody was selling them for face value, so I just couldn't.
You'll be around for the next coronation. Don't worry about that.
So are you. So are you. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Christopher for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you for your support, and everybody else watching. I hope you are well. Get your thoughts for tomorrow's 7 p.m. kickoff into the chat. I mean, I know it's a bank holiday, but I still don't understand 7 o'clock on a Sunday. It just doesn't help anybody at all, does it? But Nigel, you were there at the Etihad on Wednesday night. Just got to try and regroup and try and maybe beat Man United and probably secure safety if we do that on Sunday.
Yeah, going back to that virus, I'm not too sure about that. If you ask me, it could have been one of those viruses that are going around that last like a day. But we was all right, to be fair. First half was good, but when you make mistakes against a team like that, and they're a hell of a side, and when you watch them play football, but there's a vast difference when you're standing there and you're watching this team. When you watch us with us going forward, if we're behind our team, the ball goes sideways and backwards. When Man City get it, it just always goes forward. You watch them when they play. You notice it more when you're sitting behind watching them, and there's no backwards passing with that team. They're totally on the attack all the time and looking probing, and they're a tremendous side.
And I think we knew as well, Gary, going up there, that we were probably never going to win. If we did win up there, it would have been a miracle. They're on a roll now, and we've now got to put that behind us and go into a game against the other Manchester side in which their away form has been pretty dreadful as of late, and they seem to be bottling more and more games away from home. If we put the pressure on them, I think they're a side that can be broken down, but again, you've got to take into consideration the quality they do have there.
Yeah, for sure. They spent a lot of money and they've got a lot of quality in their team, but as you said, Jake, their away record is not brilliant. We just need to put them under pressure and attack from the start. The only worry I've got, because David Moyes mentioned yesterday, is someone else has gone down with the bug. It might be food poisoning. Someone's eaten a dodgy aubergine or something. But something's happened for the squad, and hopefully Declan's back and Souček is back and Aguero's back, and who knows? Maybe the one that's down food poisoning, Ben Johnson. Maybe if we're lucky. If we're unlucky, it's going to be someone like Paqueta.
Yeah, we'll have a look at what Moyes said in his pre-match press conference in just a second. But just a word on our opponents first. What I want to say is, Man United, they're a funny side who have sort of been rejuvenised this season under Erik ten Hag. They got a trophy under their belt. They could possibly, beat Man City if they're lucky, and get the domestic cup double under their belts this season. But Man United, it's been a mixed bag and a funny season from losing 7-0 to winning some very, very hard and difficult games. They're a side that you never know what to expect, Nigel.
I think watching them the other night, they looked really tidy. I wasn't actually. I was thinking they're not that good a team this year, but watching them the other night, they were slick and they looked really good. And I started to think to myself, "Oh, this is not going to be an easy game for us." They look really good, and Rashford, he looks like a different player.
Yeah, I agree. No,
he's so dangerous. When he runs on the left hand side, he just looks so dangerous. And I think if we haven't, I don't know what's happening with Soufal, whether it's a hamstring or if he's out, but we could be in big trouble. We've got
That's
someone
exactly
like
what I was going to
Johnson,
say, Nigel. Yeah. Exactly what I was going to say, Nigel. Soufal's definitely out. So whether he plays Kehrer or Johnson, I hope he plays Kehrer. He's the best of a bad bunch. We're going to be in big trouble down that left-hand side.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, with that issue there, and against probably one of the most informed wingers in the league, it's just worrying. You know, whoever they're going to have out on that side, whether they'll have the tactical nous to go, let's just stick Rashford out there on whoever they've got there. It's not their first choice, whatever, or whoever they'll have there. You know, that's a huge problem that Moyes has now got to try and contend with for me. Luke, thanks for joining us. Gary as well, I hope you are well. We've never lost a Sunday 7 p.m. kickoff. It may be because we've never played in one, but we've never lost one. So that's got to be a positive we're going to take into it. But I like that, Luke. I like that. We can have a little look now at what Moyes said yesterday in his pre-match press conference. So of course, Rice again and Souček all missed out, on the game at the Etihad on Wednesday night. So Moyes said, and I quote yesterday, they've been in today. He confirmed today was the first time we've had a chance to assess them. They've done a little bit of training, so I'm hoping that they'll be available for the weekend. One other player was sent home this morning, and we've got another one who just didn't feel so good. So we're hoping that we can contain it. It looks like it's more of a sort of a sickness, and the players are getting over it quite quickly. Two players who will miss out are Zouma and Soufal, two key defensive players there. Let's firstly start on them. Soufal and Zouma, the foundations of our defence for me, probably two of our best defenders at the football club. You know, their miss is undeniable, and the worries that puts into me are quite big, Nigel, with those two obviously not going to be there, confirmed.
I think Soufal has been our best player the last month. I think he's been absolutely
fully agree.
Brilliant. And he's that tackle on Haaland the other day, did you see that? What's a tackle? And like he's just a warrior. He just don't, he's really come back into form, and I was really happy to see him playing well. So to see him, as soon as he touched his hamstring the other day, I thought, oh no, that is like. But also, I've noticed, I don't know if you noticed, how good is Paqueta at the moment? He seems to turn into that player we thought he was going to be, and I just hope he carries it on. But Soufal to me is a massive, not so much. I think we can lose, maybe get away with it, but Soufal is a massive loss because then who are you going to replace him with? Yeah, that's the sort of overriding issue there, Gary, is that with Zouma we can put Ogbonna in there, and yes, it won't be the same, but he's going to do a job. I fear for who we are going to have to put in that right back position, because I don't think either of them are particularly good. So, Gary, it comes to something, doesn't it? It comes to something when to something when you've got Germany's international saying you don't want to play him.
Trouble you got, Jake, as we said, like if Soufal's definitely out, Zuma's definitely out, Aguero was sick, and if he's out as well, we're very short at the back then.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
We've got Kehrer, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Emerson, left play out position maybe, or Johnson, and against Manchester United, they're really going to capitalise on that. So it does depend. If I really hope Aguero's recovered, otherwise we are in big trouble tomorrow. Yeah.
What Moyes has sort of hinted at is that they have recovered quite well. They did some training yesterday, so I think if they're 80% fit, I think he'll start them. I really do.
He won't have too much choice, will he?
No. Especially with that those two midfielders there, and probably our second best for me, in my opinion, centre half in Aguerd there. I don't think he can afford, if he has the choice, to not use them, because who we're going to put there otherwise, I just worry for what we'll do then. But putting that to the side, Nigel, you did mention Paqueta there, and he's a player that has come on leaps and bounds in recent weeks and in the last couple of months. Hopefully, again, we can get him on the ball and we can get him creating things, because I think he's been a shining light recently, Paqueta.
I think he played better without Rice the other night, personally. I know we didn't have Declan in there, but it allowed us to see how good Paqueta was. And he seemed to sort of really, really plays out like he was trying to prove what a good player he is without Declan in there. That's how it seemed to me anyway. He really, really looked next level. Really, he was a cut above the rest of our midfield, to be sure.
It's these sorts of games now, Gary, where a player like Paqueta stands up and be counted and really puts in one of those performances that we were hoping he was going to bring when we signed a high caliber player like Paqueta.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Nigel. I think Paqueta and Soufal have been our best players since the World Cup. Paqueta's getting better and better. I mean, his goal against Liverpool was just fantastic, a really good goal. And he's looking more confident. He's looking like. I'll tell you the thing that surprised me about him, Jake. He works so hard and he tackles and he really does dominate his area. He's not frightened of a physical challenge. He's got the touches. He's not frightened if he gets into a bit of a kerfuffle in the midfield. He just gets on with it.
Yeah, and that's a key element of it as well, because I've been, I was quite patient when people were starting to criticise Paqueta and going, he's not doing enough there. But I was patient with him because I saw that side of his game, that he was, he is hardworking. He's not dare I mention the name of Felipe Anderson, who didn't put as much work in as a player like Paqueta there. Paqueta's put the work in. He's putting those brilliant tackles in, getting himself stuck in, and now he's adding that attacking threat to his game as well. And hopefully he can continue this on till the end of the season, stay with us, and whether it's with a new manager or not next season, he can really flourish, because we're starting to see that now, and that can only be a positive going forward. And he could be the difference to our Nigel, that bit of flair, that bit of go at there, at a Man United defence that isn't stable at the moment. Let's get Paqueta running at him and really causing us some problems.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're in the middle of the park. Not actually that good, to be fair. Fernandes, he don't like it up him. If you had Rice and Paqueta fighting around him, he could really get frustrated. And they're wide players are the ones, people like Anthony coming in, and like Rashford running in from the left hand side and stuff like that. But players like Fred, and I think we could really get at them and really break them down, because Fernandes he's not really a good defensive player. If you watch his game, I think we could get at them. I really do. And up there at the back, they're all over the shop.
Yeah,
they don't never. I mean, the other night, I think they're well beatable. But like I say, when we let them get in, to the flow of things, and we stand off them. We're going to attack them. That's what we should have done the other night. We've got to attack teams, not try and sit it out. We've got to fight them.
But we were all at Old Trafford, Nigel, and we dominated that last half an hour. And we could have got something in that game. So we've got nothing to be frightened of. We just need to be bold and attack them going forward. But one question I got for you two guys: do you think Moyes is going to have a Thursday on his mind, or just completely go for tomorrow? Because Bowen's looking tired to me. I would rest Bowen tomorrow, put Cornet in myself. He won't do it, but Bowen's starting to look a bit tired.
I think he's going to put out the best side that he possibly can. Go on, Nigel.
I think, like you say, you've got a fair point there, that Cornet, we could have brought him on for 45 minutes the other night just to see what he could do.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a great thing to do. But we ain't used the fella. We haven't used him. He's just, we're seeing glimpses. And do you know what? He gets into good positions.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think if we give him, a bit more game time, I think.
Yeah,
but I agree that we should maybe drop Bowen for a game and maybe put Cornet in on the left.
And I think as well, because I think it would have been, pleasable to put Cornet there on Wednesday night, and he didn't, and I didn't think he got a minute in the end. Maybe he came on late, but I can't remember. Yeah. So it would make sense for Cornet to start in one of these games we've got coming up this week. But Moyes will go with, the tried and trusted, and it will be the strongest 11 he possibly can put out. We will look at the Man United team news in a second, because that is just as interesting. But I do want to take some of these comments. One more win and we're safe. And what better team to do it against than Man United at home? And we've given them some good games in the past. They beat us in the FA Cup, but we gave them a game there. A couple of the last Premier League games up there at Old Trafford, they've been narrow 1-0 defeats.
Last year, Noble's penalty in the last minute.
Noble's penalty last minute. We've gave them some games, and they've got some flipping luck off of us in the last couple of years. And was it 2019 when we lost there 2-1, and I thought we were robbed with VAR. There's plenty of games where it was just not quite there. So it would be good if we could get one over them tomorrow for sure. Let's have a look here. Gary says, I just want to play all the kids safe in the league and concentrate on the cup. They are sucking the fun out of this season. We just need to, I think we need one more win just to get ourselves away comfortably, and so we're not just peering behind us going into these last two games against Leicester and Leeds, because none of us want to be going to Leicester on the final day needing to get a point, because that's going to be a hell of a long 3-hour drive up there. If we need to get a point to stay up, so let's get it sorted in these next couple of games. Now, Steve, thanks for joining us evening. United only have one fit centre back. We're going to come on to team news for Manchester United in just a second. Play Areola at centre back is due a start. Oh dear. Could you imagine that? Man United have a poor away record. Upstep West Ham. Exactly. Poor record. I got West Ham next. That's all right. Come on in. But yeah, more chance of starting it. More chance of Ings starting on the wing. Oh well, Ings came into some criticism on Wednesday night that I've been giving him for a long time. I just don't see it. I don't see the point. I really don't. I've said that for months.
The thing is, Jake. I mean, I just find it so frustrating. It's Moyes, I'm afraid. Two things. Nigel's point is bang on. Why, if away to City, every single West Ham fan that's a free hit. We all think we're going to lose there. Why not give Cornet 45 minutes, half an hour? Makes no difference. Just get some minutes. And Danny Ings, I feel sorry for him. He's not the player that you should have signed. He's a poacher. He's in the 6-yard box. He'll score goals, but he's not one to play up front on his own. He's not a player.
So he got so angry about Danny Ings, he chucked his phone on the floor. Look.
I'm back.
He's back. There you go. We're live, people. There we go. See, professionals always. Gary, your reporter, you.
I was getting excited because Steve still only got one fit centre back, so I thought we were going to.
But yeah, we will just on that point have a look at the. Oh, go on, Nigel.
Danny Ings, 125 grand a week.
I know.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
That's it. That's the sentence. You don't need to say anything else. Danny Ings, highest paid player in the club, Nelly. I think he was 125.
Second most overpaid person in football after Frank Lampard.
It's a good one, Gary. That's a good one. Ings is the slowest player in the world. Might as well have put me up top, but I need 200 grand a week.
How fast are you, Luke?
Faster than flipping Ings. We will have a little look. Oh Christ, I'm on the Man United website and I've just flicked back onto it and they're trying to flog me shirts. I don't want your shirts. It's bad enough going out there every year and being hounded by half and half scarf sellers. 300 of them up there. Gary,
how long ago did we have pace? How long ago did we have pace in our team? Someone who was really fast.
Ryan Fredericks.
That's about right as well.
Ryan Fredericks. Crikey. I didn't mind Fredericks. He got a hell of a lot of criticism, but I didn't mind him too much.
But Jake, you just those cars you have when you're kids and you pull back and just let them run like that. That's what he was like. He just had no confidence in his ability. Really fast, but no idea what he's doing. So.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the Man United team then. So they've done this. See, West Ham, I give them credit because they put in bold the key information on the articles for team news. I've got to just skim read through all the dross on here that they've said about absolute rubbish. Right, here we go. So Ten Hag has ruled out Scott McTominay and Varane for this game. So that's positive. And of course, Martinez is out for the season as well. So yeah, Varane out, Martinez out. We knew that. Scott McTominay also out. Garnacho as well.
Who did they play last week, Joe? Who played against Brighton? I forgot centre backs. Was it Maguire and Lindelof?
Lindelof was one of them. I can't remember who the second one was. But the bottom line is, whilst I find that out, and Nigel will come to you, is that they're a side weakened, especially defensively.
Yeah, but do you know what? Harry Maguire, as a pretty good game when he plays against us. Do you not notice that? He always seems to have quite a good game, Maguire, when he plays against us.
Yeah, I agree.
And
He was good at Old
that's saying
Trafford.
something. But yeah. But like you say, yeah, like I pointed out earlier, I think they are a little bit dodgy at the back, and I think we can get at them. But last time we did get at them with Antonio, and because we had Antonio, literally when he has to think about things, he's just the worst player we've got. If you don't have to think about it, he's Ronaldinho. But when he has to think about things, when he could have squared it to Ben man, and he just tried to open his body out, and then the 1-on-1, and I'm like, we get in these situations and we do not punish teams. That's the problem.
Shaw was centre back, was he?
Yeah. I've just got the lineup. So their lineup read from left to right: Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Shaw, and Diego Dallo. That was their back line, with Fred, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes as a midfield partnership. Anthony Martial, who came back in, and Rashford led the line. So it was Shaw there who decided to slap a high five on the ball, which gave away a penalty in the end. And he was a centre back who coincidentally did play quite well in that game. I thought, it's all coming back to me now as well. He played reasonably well in that game. From what I saw of it, and whether they'll adopt the same, sort of approach with Shaw there, we'll have to wait and see. But that Varane and Martinez were solid there. They've both now got injured, so it's got to be a positive we've got to take into it. And as well, if it means getting Antonio, hopefully he's recovered enough in time, get the ball to Antonio. Just run at them, run at Shaw, run at Lindelof, try and hustle and bustle around and try and rattle them a little bit. Go out there and under the lights it will be, it won't be dark, but there'll be lights on. Under the lights as we go into the Sunday evening at London Stadium, let's try and really rattle this Man United side, because they have been rattled in the past, and Brighton held out and weathered the storm on was it Thursday night against United, and then poached in the last minute with a penalty and won the game. So, we've seen teams can beat them. They are poor away from home, and we've got to take that incentive on. We've got to have confidence in ourselves and Moyes to give it a go a little bit. And what bigger incentive is to get something off of Man United and to put that gap just that bit bigger and secure safety. Gary, Nigel?
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree. We've got to get them, especially if defensive-wise we're going to be as weak as we are. The best thought we need to attack then. And I would like to see, Jake, I'd like to see Mubama on the bench and bring him on instead of Danny Ings. I'd like to see him have a go, because we all went to the FA Youth Cup final, and he looks a good player. I think he's ready to have a go. So he's certainly better suited to the system than Danny Ings for me.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely play him.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in the team. And you know what? I think if we can get this win, I think that there's more his chance at the end of the season to put Mubama in against Leeds and Leicester and really see what he can do and give him some proper game time. And I think this kid's going to be dynamite for us. Yeah. I think he's mustard. We need to get the ball down the middle more, which is we're so predictable when we keep putting the ball wide. When we put the ball down the middle against Arsenal, we looked really good.
Yeah,
we've got to try and deploy these same tactics, and we've got to have faith in ourselves to put out, and to go into it with a more positive outlook and go into it and think, hopefully we will have Rice in there and those key players, and it's going to be two weakened defenses put up against each other, and try and give them a good go. Just on the Mubama point, hopefully we'll be safe by the end of the season, and I don't think it'll be too much more, but it would be brilliant if we are maybe a couple of goals up in Dreamland at the King Power on the final day. Bring Mubama on for half an hour, get a good crowd's reception. We're safe, comfortably safe. Give him some time and see what he can do, and he'll get a good reception from the crowd as well, and let's hope then he can catapult his career and hopefully he can have a good career at West Ham. But we'll have to wait and see, of course, on that sense. But returning to this, a prediction is what I'm going to ask for next. Before we do, we're going to take some of your comments in the chat. So you two think of your predictions and don't nick mine. So yeah, that's what you've got to do. Otherwise you'll get in trouble. If Man United don't get top 4, then Ten Hag should get sacked on the spot and get Zidane in. Wow. I do think they will get top 4, if I'm honest. I don't think they'll bottle it that much, but I do hope we beat you at the same time. So that is my input on that. If we win or draw, Ten Hag will get sacked. I don't think he'll get sacked, but at the end of the season, they've won a trophy. If they beat Man City, which I don't think they will, they'll do the domestic cup double. If they get Champions League, I think that'll look like a success for Manchester United. Moyes has a fantastic record against Man United, so it's in the bag. Well, at least it's not away from home. What's it now? 75 matches Moyes has lost or hasn't won a game away from home at a Big Six. At least we aren't away. Dodgy VAR tomorrow, you watch? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 West Ham again. Thank you very much, Zane, for joining us. So, yeah, can get your predictions in. I think Ten Hag has done well, stabilised the shambles. I agree. Yeah, I do agree. Right, predictions. Nigel, I'll start with you.
Just before I give my prediction, that Ten Hag, I think he has done a brilliant job at Man United. I think he's completely changed that team. Do you not think so?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I fully agree, Nigel. Yeah.
2-1 West Ham.
Very good. Gary?
So, Jake, have I got to predict what you're going to say now? Have I? Let me just read your mind. You're going to say 1-1. I'm going to go 3-1 to West Ham.
Oh, that's a bit close for comfort. I was always going to say 3-2 to West Ham. That's what I'm going to stick with now. Well done, you two. You haven't nicked my prediction. Thank you very much. You can come back next week. Mike always nicks my prediction. So, nah, only joking, Mike, if you're watching. Yeah, 3-2 West Ham is my prediction. I can see some entertaining football, some dodgy defending, and a West Ham win to secure safety and a few out on the lash on a Sunday night, not having to go to work on a Monday as it's bank holiday. So that is what we will hope to see. And if not, then we go into bogey Brentford, hoping to get something. And if we don't get something there, we need to beat Leeds, don't we? With Big Fat Sam returning to West Ham. What a day that's going to be. 3-2 United. We aren't going to make life easy. Oh, well, I say 3-2 West Ham, so nearly right, Luke, nearly right. 2 weak defences, high scoring draw, 2-2, so Steve, fair enough.
That's fair enough. Terrible. Don't listen to him. Terrible.
No, I quite like that. I quite like that, actually. It's very calculated prediction, as I like it. Taking all factors into consideration. But anyway, final thoughts, Nigel. I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think we need to get I think I'd be happy with a draw tomorrow, to be honest.
So would I. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree, Nigel. If you get to 35,
if we get a win, talking about I think we should actually starting Mbama in those. If we're safe, we should start him in them games. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think if we get a point tomorrow, that takes us to 35. It's effectively 36 because of our goal difference. So, and I can't see 4 teams getting past us or 3 teams getting past us with more than 36 points. I just can't see it.
Definitely not.
I think a draw will be enough tomorrow to keep us up. Because like I said, that I haven't checked today, but the goal difference, I think we're about 10, 12 goals better than most of the teams down there, I think. So
I tell you what, though, Leeds did lose today, but their goal difference didn't take a batter, and so they would have probably taken a 2-1 loss at the start of the day, Leeds, just to protect the goal difference.
Did you watch the game, Jake?
I didn't know. I was.
I watched it. It's the most flattering 2-1 you'd ever seen in your life. Honestly.
Was it?
City absolutely battered them.
Oh, was it?
They had 13 players. The goal frame was playing for Leeds as well.
Haaland had his one off day this season. He could have had 4 or 5.
I heard that. Yeah.
Mr. Penn.
Yeah. No, crazy. If you look now, Leeds have got -25, so that would have really finished off their goal difference, wouldn't it? We're on -13. Leicester are also on -13, so it is interesting in that sense. But yeah, one more win and it's done. Even a point, I think, takes 35, and that's
what's Forest goal difference? What's Forest and
Forest are on -32, so they're gone.
Everton, they're quite bad.
-25.
Yeah, so I think we should be all right then.
Yeah, let's hope so.
One draw, yeah.
Draw, and we are safe in my opinion. The teams below us can't win a game.
Yeah,
I am in
agree.
agreement with you, Luke. I think you are correct. 3-0 West Ham, says Corey. Well, I like that indeed. I fancy a 1-1. Yeah, I'd snatch your hand off for a point right now if you're going to give it to me. Lots of inept teams, but yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree. With that, Man City should have scored 10. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay.
It was all over them.
It was just they had one chance, scored it in about what 85th minute. So it nice.
I think it was 80. At one point there was 82% possession of Manchester City. It was like it was really good.
Big fat Sam 11 behind the ball. Let's go. Welcome back to the Premier League. Pack of pies on order. Yeah, it is what it is. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining us. We will be back tomorrow with our normal match day content, with our build-up show, instant match reaction, and review from outside the ground and everything else. I'm sure, Gary, are you going?
Yes, I'm going. Yeah.
Jolly good. I'm sure you are as well, Nigel. So enjoy tomorrow as best as you can, and I look forward to seeing your post-match thoughts tomorrow as well. So yeah, thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you very much, Gary.
Cheers, Jake.
Any final thoughts, overriding last comments?
No, we just attack tomorrow. Let's go for a point, and 3 points definitely go. Don't sit back like we normally do.
Don't sit back. That's the phrase, Nigel.
Definitely. Get at them and get them. Look, we win this game, that's it. Let's treat it like a cup final. Get in now. Get at them. If we win the game, we're safe. Yeah. Simple.
What bigger incentives do you want? And Gary, there's just one thing left to say. What is it?
Come on, you guys.
That's it. There we go. Well done. You didn't crack under the pressure. Come on, you guys. I will see you soon right here. Oh, my. Have an official. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.